Okay, another important form for bridges is the shaft inspection device form, where we document the actual cleanliness of the shaft. Uh, Very likely you will have that form hidden, so in order for you to see that form, you will look into right click, do on hide, look for SID, shaft inspection device, click it, and then you got it. By the way, you will notice a lot of this stuff is populated already. That's coming from these first pages when you input the project number, names, stations, the pier and shaft numbers. Um, from page 2, when you input this data here to sound it for the depth of the shaft and the sounding for the sediment thickness, you will document this and it will give you an average here, and that thing is gonna be shown here. The shaft diameter will be coming from the diameter you input here in the first page. Right? So let's talk about this form. You will notice it's got a resemblance to this form, but we just have expanded for these 5 views, and we represent here circles to represent the views of the shaft inspection device. And at this point, let's take a look at the, let me see some slides here I'd like to show you. Um, Here is a shaft inspection device. It's a heavy cylindrical camera. Inside you got a camera with lights, and also it's got some conduit and where you can apply pressure, which allows you to control the fluid level inside this bale. Okay? So two levels are important for us: the 1.5 inch and the 1/2 inch for cleanliness determination purposes. If this is the 1.5 inch level from the bottom, whatever, if I see something protruding above, something coming out of the water surface, let's say I see islands, like this thing, hold on, like this one. If this is the 1/2 inch level, these things means I got areas that are more than 1/2 inch. If this is the 1.5 inch, that means this is more than 1.5 inch. So that means it could be 2.5 inches. So that means this doesn't pass. And by the way, the SID will have some incline rules that allows you to determine what level are you talking about, you know. But the fluid, you have to control the fluid to see really well and to be able to estimate areas that we call clean, between quotes, clean. And as far as it is concerned, we call clean when we have a 1/2 inch areas that have less than 1/2 inch sediments. We call those areas as clean, but between quotes, because it's not 100% clean. But for practical purposes, we are interested in areas that have less than 1/2 inch. So if this view, let me go. Let's say this is the view for 1/2 inch level. So whatever we see on top of this, that's areas that have more than 1/2 inch sediments. And these areas below fluid, when you see fluid, that's areas that have less than 1/2 inch or areas that are clean. So if I go into trace a line here, roughly this is 50% somewhere here, I would say, I would estimate that about 70% of this area is it's got sediments more than 1/2 inch, and then 30%, the remainder 30% would be clean or has less than 1/2 inch. Okay, so coming back to the form, I would input something here. Let's say that was the first view. I would say, okay, in this particular case, I have 30% of the area have less than 1/2 inch, and then let's say I have another view that allows me to determine that my maximum sediment was 1 inch. In one one case, for example, let me come back to these lights here. If I have a situation like this, well, definitely I don't have any clear, I mean, for practical purposes, this is all these sediments are 100% more than half an inch. So I would put, this is dirty, this view would be, I would put a 0 here. Let's say this is this view. I would put 0 because everything was 100% was greater than half an inch. Let's say maybe I have another view that allow me to see, well, this was 1.5 inch. Now, if I determine by looking at the another view, looking at another fluid elevation that I already have more than 1.5 inch, I stop until the contractor, you don't meet the specifications for cleanliness, you need to clean that again. But let us assume we still, we barely make it. We still have 1.5 inch maximum sediment, even though we have a 0% of cleanliness there regarding half an inch. And let us keep, and following the similar procedure, maybe I was able to determine that I got 50% here, maybe 0.75 inches here. When I was here, I was able to determine again 50, maybe 1 inch. And when I was here, maybe I was 60. Then maybe I have 0.5 inch here. So, okay, so I'm looking, I need to meet two conditions. Number one, that the maximum sediment does not exceed 1.5 inch, and that at least 50% of the area has to have sediments less than half an inch. So I may be meeting the first one, but I'm not meeting this one. I have a percentage, an average area of 38% with less than half an inch, and I need to have more than 50%, 50% or greater. So in this particular case, I would tell the contractor, I need you to go back and clean again because he didn't pass. Doesn't meet the cleaning requirement. So when he does the second time, let's say maybe he improved here to say 50, and maybe this becomes 0.5. Here now, okay, so he did a good improvement, now becomes 30% here, and maybe this was reduced to 1 inch. This one here was improved to 70, and then maybe here improved to 90, and in this particular case it was 100. So, okay, so now I got a 68%, the sediments are less than 1.5 inch, and the area with less than half an inch sediments is 68%, so it's ready to go. Then I tell a verbal approval, yes, it is approved to pour, and then I give it to whoever is the name of the superintendent and the time by me, by the inspector, and then go ahead and do it. And that's pretty much it about this form. Thank you for watching. Thank you.